On February the 16th, 1989, George and Vera Brzezinski, who live in Oshawa, Ontario, their lives were turned upside down. On that Thursday morning at 9:30 in the morning, they got a phone call. Their son Ben had been in a car accident, a road accident. They immediately rushed to the junction of Adelaide and Simcoe Streets near the high school in Oshawa. And as they got there in their cars, they were getting closer and closer. They could see the police cars, the flashing lights. The journalists were there. And as Vera was looking out and looking at all this that's going on in front of her, she saw the photographer looking and followed the camera angle there she was going, and she saw this pool of blood. The biggest pool of blood she'd ever seen in her lives. And the first words out of her mouth were, "George, Ben has gone home. He's gone home to be with his Heavenly Father." And her first reaction was she wanted to jump out of that car and just gather up all that blood and put it back inside of him because it didn't belong on the floor. That blood, she said, for me at that moment became the most precious thing in the world because it was life. The road was dirty and the blood just didn't belong there, she said. George, the dad, noticed that the cars driving on the other side of the road, going through the intersection, were driving right through that blood that was on the ground. And he literally shouted out at the top of his voice, "You will not drive over the blood of my son." Then Vera understood for the first time in her life one of God's greatest and most beautiful truths. Why blood? She said it because it was the strongest language that God could have used. It was the most precious thing he could give, the highest price that he could pay.